Hello, my name is Melissa Dixon, and on behalf of the Hayes Convention and Visitors Bureau, I'd like to welcome you to our town and invite you to come spend a little time in Hayes. We have landed in a wonderful place in the heartland of America. Ellis County is known as the German capital of Kansas. Many of our residents are descendants of German immigrants who came over from the Volga River region of Russia. The German traditions live on in our community through our food, our festivals, and our beautiful historic churches. Hayes has a rich history of Wild West characters like Wild Bill Hickok, Buffalo Bill Cody, and General George Custer. As you walk downtown, you'll see historical markers that tell where the saloons and general stores were and where shootouts took place. Hayes is the shopping and dining destination of Northwest Kansas. You'll find locally owned boutiques for clothing, gifts, and cookware, as well as larger stores for everything from sporting goods to home decor. Our restaurants will tempt you with tastes of Asian cuisine, gourmet sandwiches, and juicy steaks. And if you're looking to sample some craft beer, don't miss our award-winning breweries and local tap rooms.
Hi, my name is John Armstrong, Director of Development of the Fort Hays State Foundation here on campus at Fort Hays State University. There's not a better time to be a part of Fort Hays State University right now. Our campus is so vibrant. As you can see behind me, there's an inch of excitement that's going on at Fort Hays State. If you haven't been to campus in the last even year to year and a half, there's $88 million worth of projects and buildings and things going on campus. It's an exciting time to be a Tiger. We're looking at one of the largest freshman classes in the history of Fort Hays State University. It's one of those things that alumni and friends come back and they're proud to be a Tiger, and now you can see a lot of the things that are going on campus with our buildings and the construction, and not only new but renovations that are going on campus that makes it a special place to be. Our Alumni Association, our foundation, work together collaboratively to host a lot of events that we have for our alumni. More than 30,000 strong across the country, and alumni and donors that we have. Of course, Western Kansas is the heart of a lot of our alumni that are a part of Fort Hays State University. When we get people to come back to Hayes America, they're very happy to see what they see when they get here. Not only an incredible campus, but the people that are here are so supportive of the university. And itself, Hayes is a college town, and with 20,000 people strong, and when students are here around that 25 to 26,000 mark, it's unbelievable to feel the energy when you know that campus is going on and the students are here. But the support that we have from our organizations and the community organizations, public and private, is absolutely incredible. Not only for the students and the staff at Fort Hays State, but for our community. We see a lot of students that come and parents come and think everywhere we went, everyone had a smile on their face and said, you know, we're happy that you're here. Thank you for coming to visit Fort Hays State. Thank you for coming to Hayes, and we're glad that you're here. So there's always an open hand and a handshake and a smile to students and parents when they come and visit. This back-to-school picnic has been the longest-standing tradition of Fort Hays State University as far as activities. We're talking over 100 years of back-to-school picnics. This quad right here is electric. This is a huge event for campus, and it's kind of that welcome to Fort Hays State University and welcome to Hayes America. Fort Hays State University is so lucky to have a three-tiered type of system when we talk about the university in itself. One is our on-campus enrollment. The second is, of course, our online enrollment, and we're one of the most progressive online universities in the Midwestern United States as well as the country. And not only that is our international program. Of course, we have a couple campuses in China, but we also have a reciprocating agreement that a lot of those students that will end up studying in China may end up coming back here to Fort Hays State to obtain an undergraduate or even master's degree. It's an incredible relationship we have. The thing I'd like to tell people is, if you haven't been to Fort Hays State University or even the community of Hays in some time, we'd love for you to come. We'd love for you to take a look at this beautiful campus and see what's changing in western Kansas. We feel like Hays America is a very vibrant place, lots of cultural things, lots of music activities, lots of shows that we have in Hays. It's an incredible place to be, and if anyone's looking at going to college, of course, Fort Hays State is right here for you and welcoming you with open arms. And please just take a look around our campus and see what an incredible place this is.
Hi, my name is Sarah Bloom. I'm the Executive Director for our Downtown Hays Development Corporation, and our organization's goal is to continue to revitalize and bring life back into our beautiful historical downtown Hays. Our downtown is filled with wonderful boutiques, but we also want to remember the history that happened in our downtown as well. So we have a really fun time melding the history of downtown Hays with the new modern boutiques, and we really encourage you to come visit our downtown. We organize a lot of events every year. We actually have around 11 annual events that we organize. Everything from a wonderful downtown Hays market that's at 10th and Main every Saturday morning from 7:30 to 11, to annual events like our craft beer festival Brews on the Bricks that takes place in April, to Wines and Steins that takes place in September, and everyone's favorite Frost Fest that happens November through December. It kicks off with our holiday open houses, but then we also light a tree every year and celebrate Christmas coming in, as well as our annual illuminated parade that happens early December, and it's fabulous. Every float, every entry has to be lit. We wait until it's dark for the floats to roll down Main Street, and thousands of people come out for that. It doesn't matter if it's raining, snowing, freezing, our streets are lined with people, and it's a lot of fun. Downtown Hays Development is continually looking to continue the development of downtown by working with developers and partners and bringing in new businesses, but we're also excited because we just put in some new public restrooms in downtown, and we're building a huge 40 by 80 foot structure that's going to be at 10th and Main, and it's an open air pavilion that people will be able to use for reunions and theatrical performances, bands, special events, whatever you name, whatever you can come up with, it will be available. And so we're excited to not only encourage development and partner with developers, but DHCC is also very involved in developing it themselves and providing structures that aren't using any tax money. So we're excited to share that with the community and with those coming into our community. There's always a lot happening in downtown Hays, so we encourage you to stay connected with us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, you name it. Just search for Downtown Hays or the Bricks in Downtown Hays, or visit our website, downtownhays.com. It's going to list a little bit more about us, all of our upcoming events. It's going to have those social media links, everything that you could need. You can even request a brochure so that you know everything that's in downtown, downtownhays.com.
I'm Lee Dobratz, and I'm the director of Ellis County Historical Society downtown in the Chestnut Street District. Our main building where our offices and exhibits are is in the old First Presbyterian Church that was occupied by the Presbyterian Church until about 1974, and then they built a new building, and the newly formed Historical Society purchased this. So we have a tall brick neoclassic building that is attached to an old stone church that was built in 1879. On the campus, we have a fire museum. The things on the inside of the fire museum are owned by the Fire Relief Association, and part of it is 2 old fire trucks from the 20s and 30s. One of them still runs, and the firemen take it out for the Wild West Fest parade and other things. We have a harness shop that was owned by the Younger family and was built around 1901. It used to sit down on 11th Street, It was moved here and it now houses our saddle collection, which is pretty extensive for a place of our size and very nice, lots of local family saddles. The last building is the Volga German house. It was constructed in the 1980s, and the house is not original, it is a replica, but all of the things that are on the inside are original to the 1880-1890 period and are things that Volga German families here in the area would have owned. It gives you a little snapshot of what it was like to live in the area then. You can't imagine, especially children, can't imagine living in that small of a house with, 10 brothers and sisters and mom and dad and no TV and no electricity. So that's really fun to take tour groups out there. People that are not from here come in and they usually are surprised that we have such a diverse history, and they ask questions about different things in the past. People are very interested in the Wild West history, of course, because it was rather raucous and raunchy. So that's always a good topic of conversation. But they just ask lots of questions and have a great time while they're here. Probably the most unique piece that we have on exhibit right now is a clock that was made by Justice Bissing. Mr. Bissing was a local dentist, but he also had a penchant for woodwork. The things that we have came out of what is now the maternity home at 4th and 7th Street. And when you come in to see the clock, you'll see that it's scroll work. Well, Hays and Ellis County both have a very diverse history. There's a little bit of everything that happened here. So what we try to do is we try to feature different snippets of that history and rotate out exhibits and do other parts of the history so that every time you come in you see something a little different and learn something new about the Ellis County area that you may not have known before. In the not so distant future, we would really like to become a destination museum where people plan to come here because of the amazing exhibits that we have and the very interesting history that Hays and Ellis County both have. Our standard open hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. through 5 p.m. But we do take appointments other days and other times, especially for researchers or tour groups. You can find us on the web at elliscountyhistoricalsociety.org, or you can sure give us a call. Our phone number is 785-628-2624.
Hi, I'm Tammy Younger. I'm the administrator here at Historic Fort Hays, and today we've got a vintage baseball game. They're playing with rules from 1869, and we have a team that came over from Topeka, and then we also have some local people are playing on the Fort Hays team. Fort Hays actually was established here 150 years ago, so we are actually celebrating our 150th anniversary this year. So we are having programs pretty much, we've been having them every month, and this is the program for this month, is the baseball. We also, next month, we have a program with the archaeologist from Kansas State Historical Society. He's going to talk about some of the digs that have been done out here in Ellis County and also at Historic Fort Hays back in the 1960s. If you'd like to come visit Fort Hays, we are open Wednesday through Saturday and 9 to 5. And we give guided tours pretty much anytime someone is here and is ready to go on a tour, we take them. We bring you into the 2 officers' quarters here. We have these 2 buildings. We also have our guardhouse, which was a jail. It has exhibits in it. And then we have our blockhouse, which also has exhibits in that building. And we've got, good stuff in all the buildings. The houses are completely furnished as if they were from in the 1860s. We have uniforms you can try on with hats down in the guardhouse, the wool uniforms that the soldiers would wear. We also have some names you get to look up when you're down in our guardhouse. We hand you some tickets that say, they have a picture and a name of someone that was at Fort Hays, and when you get down to the guardhouse, you're able to look him up and see what happened to him while they were at Fort Hays. We hope that you'll come out and visit us. It's a great, one of the great historic sites there is in Kansas.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reese Barrick, and I'm here at the Sternberg Museum of Natural History in Hays, Kansas. The museum has been a part of Fort Hays State University since around 1926. When the Fort Hays State University hired George Sternberg to start a paleontology collection for the museum, he did a lot of work and basically started the illustrious history of the Sternberg Museum of Natural History, which was named after his family. The museum moved from campus out into its present location in 1999, and it's grown ever since. We have a very famous name. The Sternberg family was one of the most famous dinosaur hunting families of the late 1800s and early 1900s, and George did a lot with the community and the communities in western Kansas with collecting fossils and helping with the education of schools. And we continue that tradition in that we still do a lot of collecting, we do a lot of research, and we do a lot of public programs, both here locally in Hays, and we have programs where we have an outreach coordinator that can take programs to libraries, schools, and communities all over the state. What's fun at the museum is we have really cool exhibits. But what people don't really know is that 90% of our collections are not on exhibit. They're in our collections where we do a lot of research. And we have researchers that come from all over the world to study our vertebrate fossils, which represent the western interior seaway of Kansas from around 85 million years ago. And we are very unique and sort of one-of-a-kind collection of these fossils. And so they're very important for understanding Earth history and the history of the western United States. We also have great collections of mammals and fishes and reptiles, and we have people from all over the world that actually can find our collection online, and they may come to visit the collection, or they may just ask for little tissue samples to do DNA or genetic studies to understand the history and evolution of vertebrates in western Kansas. At the museum, we have a lot of fascinating exhibits. We have Bringing Fossils to Life, where we have live animals and fossils. We have rattlesnakes of the United States. We have traveling exhibits that come through every year. And we have a fantastic discovery center for kids and families to put their hands on and play with all sorts of things for hands-on learning. And we have a fantastic gift shop. And if you would like to find out more about the museum, you can go to sternberg.fhsu.edu.
I'm Randy Schlitter. We're at Rand's Aircraft in Hays, Kansas, and I'm the founder of the business. When I was going to aircraft mechanic school in Wichita, I decided to build a three-wheel bicycle with a sail on it. And my review of the rules of the road back then was that if you did that, it'd be considered a bicycle by law, so I could legally sail down the road. And so that particular product went on to be fairly successful. And from that, we started building bicycles. And in 1983, the FAA, shortly prior to that, they came out with something called Part 103. And Part 103 is the rules that you can build an ultralight aircraft under and avoid the certification process like a Cessna or Piper or a Boeing goes through. That was my opening, I thought. I always wanted to build airplanes since I was knee-high to a BF Goodrich, and it's just been in my blood. I've never been without aircraft my entire life because my father had 2 airports he operated. Hayes is centrally located. We're all, 70 miles from the actual center of the United States. And what I like about Hayes is that the fact that I-70 goes right by us. It's a mainstream for freight in and out. And if you're optimistic, everything is half as far away as if you were either on the east or west coast. So works great for us location-wise. And probably the most outstanding thing is our skill base and our people. You know, you don't have a business without good people, and we got good people. And it's largely due to the fact we live in a town that has a high work ethic. We're still here because we're rather invested in the community. We have a great facility here. We have our own runway. We got a family here, basically, in the group of people. We've got guys that have been here 28 years, and we're well known internationally. We may not be known locally, but we're well known internationally. I enjoy the fact that our foreign customers actually like coming to rural America. That's a different experience for them. We only build 1- and 2-seat aircraft, but we build all kinds of 1- and 2-seat airplanes. We build low wings that are really good for touring the country, cruising around at 140 miles an hour, making about 26 to 30 miles to the gallon. We build planes that'll land on a sandbar up in a river in Idaho. We build planes that you can go out and get upside down in and do all the aerobatics that you see at an average air show. So that's kind of our forte, is that we can give you an affordable, lightweight, fun performing, fun handling, easy to build aircraft. So far we've sold aircraft to 55 countries and most every state in the Union. We have a fly-in every year, and it does pretty good attracting people from all over the United States, sometimes some foreigners. And they come here to visit Hayes and spend some time here.
Hello, I'm Brenda Mader. I'm the director of the Hayes Arts Council. The cultural climate in Hayes has been exciting and wonderful for literally decades and decades and decades. There has been a strong base of community support for the arts in our community, various heritage aspects, the cultural aspects of our community. And in fact, the Hayes Arts Council is the oldest arts organization, the oldest community arts service organization in the state of Kansas. Our charter date was in October of '67, so we've been an integral part of this community for a long time. And as the years have gone on, what's been really exciting is the very dynamic and symbiotic relationship that's developed between so many of the arts and cultural entities in the community. We're excited about the 4 seasonal art walks a year that we have through the Hayes Arts Council when the weather is optimum and cooperating correctly, like it was for our fall art walk here just a very short time back. We saw nearly 1,200 people come through our doors in the 3-hour period of our fall art walk. And the art walks are free and open to the community at large. In fact, most of the events and special offerings that we have are indeed free and open to the community. Working with artist Dennis Scheel, the Hayes Arts Council was an assistant in producing the beautiful mural that's over on the side of the Fox building, right at the corner of 13th and Main here in downtown Hayes, representing a great historical overview of our community, its heritage, its history, the different people and strengths that really lay claim to who we are as a community today. After the success of that project, we were again able to serve as a fiscal agent with Dennis Scheel's direction and organization and partnership with the local VFW for a beautiful mural that's taking place on the north side of the VFW building. A mural that is celebrating and highlighting, again in honor of the sesquicentennial celebration, this time the 150-year history of military service in our community. It's a great way to bring art into the community and reinforce and celebrate the very fact that the arts are what help define us. The arts are what give celebration, enormity, and recognition to any aspect of a community, whether it is the earliest history with the gorgeous Pete Felton limestone sculptures of Cody and Hickok that permeate our community, or things like the Veterans Mural. That's how we define who we are as a community. That's how we celebrate who we are, not only in Hays, Kansas, but across the world. And we're just very excited that that is taking shape in Hays, and that the Arts Council can be a proud partner in making that heritage, that history, and that celebration of who we are come to life and to light in new and interesting and exciting ways. But while you're here visiting Hays, you have the opportunity to see great things around, like year-round exhibits here at the Hays Arts Center, great productions from our community theater and our symphony. But the biggest thing is to come, experience, and take part. Most of the entities, including the Hays Arts Council, have a presence on Facebook or have their own websites. So be sure to check those things out, because there's always something exciting, something dynamic, something engaging, and something open for you here in Hays, Kansas.
Hays has a lot going on. One way to keep up with our events is to follow the Convention and Visitors Bureau on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also view our community events calendar at visithays.com or stop by the Welcome Center at 2700 Vine Street.